and welcome to another Sims 4 speed build. So today I decided that it might be a fun idea to build a Windenburg train station. Now the mental process behind this was, surprisingly enough, I was really groggy today. I think it's because I've been spending so much time on my computer, i.e. playing The Sims. Normally when I don't upload, like I don't think I uploaded on Saturday. When I don't upload, it doesn't mean I haven't built that day. It means either I've built something that I thought, okay, it's too late to upload this because I might as well upload it the next day. Or I built something, I really don't like what I built. And then I just decided I'll do it again the next day. I'll try and do something different the next day. So there was if you look on my channel, there's kind of like a 6-day period between the tiny house and then whatever build I do after the tiny house. It wasn't that I wasn't building or I took a break, which I really should do, take a break quite soon. No, I was building for those 6 days straight, sometimes for like 6 to 7 hours, but every single thing I built, I just didn't like it. Or I did like it, but I didn't feel like this was something I wanted to post quite yet. And it's caused me to end up having, like I said before, these builds that I'm now feeling on, like, I don't know if I want to post them, but I made it a mission to myself that this video, I will only spend 30 seconds talking about my backlog. So I've spent already 20 seconds. So I've got 10 more seconds for this video to talk about it. So I'm not going to talk about it right now. Actually, that would count as 30 seconds since I continued. And this would count as 40 seconds. Okay, that doesn't count. I've 20 seconds I've spoken about it. So let me actually talk about this build. So first of all, I just want to say as well, thank you so much for 200 subscribers. Literally yesterday, I was hoping to get it by the end of the week, and you guys blew me out of the park and said, you know what, I'm going to give it to you the next day. So I'm honestly so appreciative of that. I thank you so much. Like, I'm just, when I saw it, I was actually in the midst of building this. So I was trying to find another video because sometimes I listen to music, but I think I've also been getting a headache for constantly just listen to music. I've been listening to so much cinematic music that is getting me in this like mental space of why am I listening to this? I'm not making anything like dramatic, but it's making me in the mood for something dramatic. But how do you build? Actually, I do have two very special builds that are coming out this month in honor of the Hunger Games and Dune. So look out for those because I'm really excited for that, especially the one for Dune. Just think desert house, and it's quite a big build, and it is a house, not an apartment. So just look out for that. I'm really excited for that. I've just been trying to do a lot of research to make sure I can build that, not accurately because I don't think I ever will be able to build it accurately, but to be able to build that to a point where I feel satisfied. Because the reason why I'm so satisfied with this train station is because I was building it from memory. I literally did not search anything. I'm normally, when I do build, I search even a little thing up. Like when I'm making a terraced house, even though I've quite literally grown up looking at them my entire life, I still had to go to Google and see what does a terraced house look like. So with this particular, and it's the same thing with the apartment complexes, I see them all the time, especially when I was at university, they were everywhere, but I still had to search out what does an apartment complex look like, just to get some inspiration, just to get some ideas. But when I got out of bed this morning, I got out of bed actually like around like 1:30 or 2 o'clock in the morning, which is in the afternoon, which is really weird since I normally wake up at like 8. But I got up, I was super groggy. I had a massive headache because I hadn't had my coffee, and I need to start to wean off of coffee again because I've been using that as a form of like energy. But I need to start weaning off coffee again and start gathering my energy from food. I do eat quite a good amount of energy-rich foods. I love my carbohydrates. But I think it's just because I've become so reliant on coffee that like I need to start weaning off it just a tiny bit. I will go back on it, but like I feel like I've become a bit too dependent on it. And I think it's also sake of placebo as well, because I honestly don't drink that much. I drink 1 cup of coffee in the morning. It's like 1 tablespoon or 1 teaspoon. It's really not that much, but even that little bit of coffee, that much little bit of caffeine can really get to me sometimes. So I'm just gonna wean off it. But that's not the point. That's not what I was talking about. What I was talking about is I woke up in the morning, and originally, what was I supposed to build? I don't even think I was supposed to build too much. Actually, it was London townhouses. I was in the mood of doing something for my British save file. I wasn't in the mood of touching the celebrity one. And I haven't even touched my baby save file in a long time either. So I decided, okay, since I'm in the feeling of, doing a British save file, let me just do something. The thing is, even though I really don't want to do a mansion, there is this nagging feeling at the back of my head that is calling to me to say, why don't you build an airport? And then I tell said naggy feeling, are you absolutely mad? Like, how would that even function? You would need to use the 64 by 64 lot, which you hate using, because I do hate using them. I only ever use them for my high schools, and that's about it. And then not only would I have to use the 64 by 64 lot, there's really not that many 64 by 64 lots that are in the middle of nowhere. The 9 times out of 10, there is something that shows that they're a bit too close to residential areas, to the point that airports, even though they can be quite close to residential areas, they're not quite as close as the 60 by 64. I would need like 100 and trying to calculate 128 by 128. And if I ever saw a lot that's 128 by 28, I would rather make a village first before I ever make an airport. But I just have this feeling that I want to make an airport. So I'm thinking of potentially making a mini one for my celebrity save file. But rather than it being like a full-blown airport, it would be an airport that is private, so they can just go onto the, because I think we have some planes in debug, so I think that might be cute. Not doing it anytime soon because I'm kind of sick of transportation at the moment. So yeah, hence train station. But I was feeling of doing something in my British safe file, and I was feeling of doing something quite niche, because I have the most amount of fun when I'm doing stuff that's quite niche. Not niche, okay, I'm saying niche, but quite different. Like, as much as I love residential lots and I do adore residential lots, sometimes I do get sick of them, and that's why you end up seeing a restaurant. And I was really debating on whether I was going to do a restaurant, but then I was like, no, I've done quite a few restaurants, and the next restaurant I want to do is not in my British save file. I think I want to do something else. So I was like, okay, what have I always wanted? And then I thought to myself, what do I want in terms of, basically, I'll spoil it a little bit. But in December, I know it's like weeks away, but it's next month. Within December, I have this plan that one day I'm gonna post not a vlog, but almost like a short film where it's Christmas centered. So just imagine, you've already seen a bit of this train station, right? Now just imagine this train station with Christmas decorations all over it. How cute, and snow, and how cute would that be? That would be so cute. So I needed to start building some of the backdrops that are there. So some of the backdrops are already there. I've already built them. But some of the backdrops I'm still yet to build. Like in December, you're gonna see a Christmas market because I'm gonna make a Christmas market. I mean, come on, look at me. But I think the one thing is about it is that I don't like making seasonal things that often, like centered on the season. So doing the Christmas market is gonna be one thing that I really enjoy doing, but it's also gonna hurt me because it's gonna be like, I'm not gonna be in the mood to touch this, even when it is Winterfest again, because in The Sims Winterfest could, if you play a year in The Sims, I think it's like, how many hours? I don't know. It could be like a week straight of gameplay, which, wow, if you do that, props to you, because after a good 2 hours, I'm ready to build something else and start another story. But say you do a week straight of gameplay, that's when you will be next into Winterfest. And if I'm in Winterfest and it's June, I'm not gonna play with the Christmas market because I'm just not in the mood. I feel like I'm jinxing myself. So I'm making the Christmas market for the sake of, I feel like you guys might like a Christmas market, and for the sake of, I'm feeling in the Christmassy mood. So yeah, I might do that. And I'm trying to do all these things and plan ahead, because when it came to Halloween, I was just kind of like 2 days before, because I did have a plan for Halloween. I was gonna make a residential for each of the occults within The Sims 4. But then it just kind of fell when I had to think about the vampires. And I was like, the vampires will have nothing but the most extravagant build ever. And when I say extravagant, I mean like castles, big houses, that kind of thing. And I just knew that that was not gonna that was not gonna happen, because I was not in the mood to do anything particularly traditional and big. Because it's fun thing about traditional is just it just does look really nice. Like I really love the way this train station looks. Yeah, it would have looked nice modern, but I really like how it looks like more in the olden architecture. Like I can imagine this was built the first time trains came out, and then maybe they might have had an extension modern, because a lot of train stations I know that there is the traditional ones and then there's the renovated new modern ones. So I think of your, was gonna say London, Houston, and London, Victoria, but that's not the example I want. But something else, just imagine it. Normally, if you see some train stations within the UK, there is the old architecture and there is like a modern one, like right next to it or close by. So you can just imagine that this potentially could have had an extension which is modern, but I really wanted to keep it quite traditional, quite old. So I don't know where I was going this. Why was I talking? Oh yeah, so you, I'm not so sure where it was going this, but I could imagine that this could potentially have had an extension, but I wanted to keep it like this just for the sake of gameplay, because this is the same neighborhood as the high school. The high school is actually in the upper corner, and if you look for it, I don't know if I ever showcased it, but if you look for it, it should be like in the top, like in this position right now, it should be like your left side, left upper side, like there. So if you do find that, um yeah, it's not fully finished, I apologize. But it won't be finished. But yeah, it's in that particular neighborhood, so I wanted to keep all the architecture somewhat similar. But yeah, with this, it was purely memory of the different types of train stations I have visited. And actually, the funny thing about this is that originally I wanted to do the actual train itself, because to build the actual train is not too difficult. It's quite easy to, if you think about the logistics of building a train, it's quite easy. It's just a tube. It's very similar to maybe a trailer or even a canal boat. Like it's very, very similar kind of architecture to that, but I didn't have enough space on the slot to do that. And I'm kind of happy in the end that I never got to do that, because as nice as it would have been for gameplay, and maybe I'll come back one day and really look if I'm able to do that. But as nice as that would have been for gameplay, it would not have worked, because that area that I left for the train is far too small to have Sims comfortably get on that train and have it positioned how I want it to be. Because normally in trains, it's quite a tight space. So you have 2 to 3 seats on either side, and then you have a small walkway. And in The Sims, that would have meant I needed at least 5 to 8 grid spaces, and then that would have been far too big. It wouldn't have fit with the actual rail tracks at the bottom, and yeah, it wasn't gonna work out. But I'm happy that I didn't in the end, and I just kind of focused it on its main function being as an aesthetically looking train station and it being a cafe. So if you guys do download this off of the gallery, because this will be on the gallery and no CC, because I'm not going to be no CC forever. Sometimes I'm going to do builds with CC, but this build, it didn't need CC, so I didn't put any, even though at the beginning I was contemplating it, because Felix Andre has some really good traditional architecture CC. I decided, you know what, let's forgo it and let's try and see. With CC, I'm coming to the mindset of, if I severely think that no, anything within the game is not going to be able to catch the kind of vibe I'm trying to deliver, then I will use CC by plan B. Like it's not a default in my mind anymore. Well, okay, it's not a default in my mind for builds I'm gonna do speed build on to use CC. If I'm doing a build that I'm not gonna rate in a speed build, I'm default to using CC. Especially boho living, it's a struggle not to use that pack. It really is a struggle not to use that pack. But yeah, I'm trying to do builds, and then if I feel like, yeah, I kind of need CC for this, I'll use it. But I think if there is even though this is non-CC, it obviously is not completely base game as well. So I would say the majority of the packs that I do use for this, in case you want to download it and you might not have particular packs, is that the majority of the packs that I did use for this are University Life. Is it called University Life? Is it? I think it's simple. So the University expansion pack, that is one of the major ones I used. And another one I used is um oh yeah, Get to Work, because it's a cafe lot and the cafe bistro barista thing. Yeah, so I think you would need the Get to Work pack as well. And the other one I can think of is Sims 4 Vampires. Sims 4 Vampires, if I'm doing anything traditional, 9 times out of 10, I'm using the Sims 4 Vampire pack because it is such a good pack. It's a little spoiler for when I do that review of the best packs to use for traditional builds, but it is one of the best packs, traditional Western builds. I really need to start making that a bit more evident as well. Traditional Western styled builds, because obviously these are not traditional in all aspects of the world. So in when making traditional Western style builds, I do think Sims 4 Vampires is one of the best packs you could have to do stuff like this. And I was actually really surprised with myself with the amount of university stuff that I ended up using. I think I used it for the wallpaper. I used it for most of the... Did I use it for the window? I know I used vampires for some of the windows, but some of the other windows I'm not too sure. I know I used University Life for the bench. These were such lovely benches for our train station. They weren't originally on my mind. I was going to use the same benches I used for the laundry in the apartment build, but then I saw these benches and I was like, ooh, these are beautiful. I have to use these. So I ended up using those benches throughout the entirety of the build. And one thing that really got me excited, and I think you saw it in the intro, the cinematic intro. By the way, that cinematic intro, I was thinking I'm not gonna be that happy with it because the Sims really didn't do anything, because I filmed this sim time at 1 a.m. So even if it is a community build, not a lot of Sims do go onto those community builds at 1 a.m. in the morning, rightfully so, because it's so early and most of them are claiming that they are asleep. So when I did see that a lot of Sims were actually coming here, especially when I'm so happy that I did the TV thing in the waiting areas, because just to see Sims sitting there with the TV on, it kind of really made me feel like, oh, I just wanna go somewhere. I love the aesthetic of train stations. They're so liminal to me, and and I actually didn't grow up on train stations. I grew up on bus stations and buses. So train stations are quite a new development in my life. It started mainly when I started university. I started going on trains a lot because of that. And they're just such a liminal space to me, and they're just so nostalgically comforting, but they've got this airiness to them, but there's something about them, and there's something about them which is just it doesn't make sense, but it screams autumn to me. And I think it's mainly because I remember them most during the start of school terms, and yeah, it just screams autumn to me, and I think they're just so beautiful and calm. So I feel like you guys might enjoy them for the sake of the cafe, because it's actually not even that big of a cafe, so it will get packed. And I think you guys might also enjoy them for the same of aesthetics. Like at this point, I think it's called Vlad. I think he was looking at my sim. Like there's a shot within the cinematic intro where he's kind of like looking at my sim. I don't think he was looking at her romantically. I'm gonna be so serious right now. I don't think he was looking at her romantically, but I think he was just kind of like, whoa, she's really pretty, or like, whoa, she is different, which, yeah, she is, because everyone else just looks like a townie, and she's just out here looking the 10 out of 10 that she is. But it's just, I feel like it's such a perfect place to do like a romance story or something like that. But oh gosh, I forgot what I was talking about. It was so great to see so many Sims on the lot, even though it was 1 a.m. The reason why I'm saying that is because on the cinematic intro, there was even another Sim where I'm putting the staircase. Now there was a Sim that just decided to walk on that side and sit there. There is nothing on that side that is enticing that I would think even Sims would want to go near. But that sim went there, and it added so much to the cinematic intro, so I'm really happy with that. And then there's also this tunnel that suddenly sadly isn't functional. I'll see if I can make it more functional as the days go on. and I might re-upload it to the gallery, but it's not function in the sense of the stairs going down, but there's no stairs coming back up. But I wanted to create that tunnel that I normally see in train stations where you can go through if the train station is blocking your path, which some train stations end up doing. And then even though I'm putting all these lights in the outside, I change all the lights to gold lighting to really make that nostalgic fall light and everything. And it just all came together so prettily, and I'm just really happy with it. But yeah, the video is ending now. And I really hope you guys like the video. And again, thank you so much for 200 subscribers. I really appreciate it so much. And if you like the video and you like what's going on in my channel, I would appreciate it so much if you like the video and subscribed. But if you don't, that's also okay anyways, because I really appreciate you just staying here and watching. And yeah, and also just as the house tour goes on, I've seen some questions about tray files. I've never really done tray files before, so I'm still going through the process of understanding how to upload them, where to put them, and stuff like that, because I've never uploaded content that's not on the gallery. So I need to find a platform and all of that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm in the process of doing that, and yeah, I appreciate it so much. Leave a comment, any suggestions of any types of builds you want. I'm thinking of doing a mid-century one because that was requested. And yeah, or any other comments that you want to put down. I'm sorry, I'm talking way into the house tour, and you probably just really want to concentrate on the train station tour. But yeah, leave any comments. I love your comments so much. The more the merrier. And thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.